No, just be aware of bumping it. All right, we're here. This is day 3.
We are killing it right now.
3 in a row. We were about to go to bed, and
did you have to talk into this? Doesn't matter.
No, it's good. It'll yeah. So yeah, I need to point it towards it, but
Okay.
we're fine.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so we were about to go to bed, and then we just, as usual, we either just go to bed or we just start conversations.
We
that
were
just
talking,
explode.
and then I was like, "Should we just be like recording this conversation because it was getting interesting?"
Yeah,
So-
it's super heated.
No, it was just. So today was crazy. Today was crazy because we went to what's called Northwest Cup.
Yeah.
And it's this downhill mountain bike event. And Kylan told a group of kids and parents about this event and was like, "You should come check it out with your kids," because there's like a group of our kids' friends that are like wanting to get into mountain biking. So come check it out. I did not know that you were telling these people about this. So I'm like, why are all these people that
It's a
we know
field trip.
showing up? Did you call it a field trip to the group?
No, but that's what it felt like.
Okay,
it, felt like a
it
field
totally
trip.
did, but I was like, why are you like
Guiding.
being the leader and like telling these people when they can leave?
So
and like,
well, they showed up and they're leaning. What you didn't realize is they were like, I'm chaperoning basically. Like,
Yeah.
I'm teaching.
I didn't understand that. Yeah.
So we like hike up the trail together. I'm like, hey, we'll go over here, and I'm explaining everything. And so I didn't realize that the whole time you're like, why are we like all
Why
staying
are
together?
like there's like 8 kids, like
4 different families?
4
Yeah, it was fun.
It was awesome. Yeah.
And
it was a blast.
yeah, but now I realize how that looks if you didn't.
Yeah,
if you understand.
I was like, why are you?
You
so
may
bossy?
leave now.
Yeah, you literally like when we came from down, you're like, all right, so we're gonna stick around, but you may all leave, and I'm just like, why are you telling these families what they can and cannot do?
Well,
not that you were like, I
wasn't. I was just trying to
made
like,
like now that you're
clarify.
like you were trying to be the leader, and they came because you told them
Yes.
about it. That all makes sense now.
Well, and I was trying to clarify. This is what we're gonna do, but you can do whatever you want.
Right,
Like that's what each of those
and
points.
you
were
were
that.
telling them the events that are gonna happen now from here on out.
Yeah.
And-
Or like if I were you, this is what I would do.
yeah, get out while the traffic's not bad, the whole thing.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyways, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, but while we were there, there was this.
I don't want to.
There was this dad with 2 daughters. No, I want to say this.
Okay.
There was this dad with 2 daughters there that I had seen at the pump track prior, and he's super sweet, awesome guy. And he's there with his daughters in a stroller and everything. And I'm like, oh, hey, cool. Like, good to see you. He's like, do you guys like come to all these biking events? And I was like, yeah, we're trying, I was like, yeah. He's like, what's your, like, I don't understand.
What's your
and
deal?
What's your deal? Now, retrospect, I'm like, oh, because he is, long story short, he does
Marketing,
what Kylan does.
Squarespace, and Coworking specifically.
So as he's like telling us about himself, we're like, what do you do?
No. So
yeah.
I was explaining what I do.
Yeah.
And I explain it. There's like stages of explanation. It's like I do online stuff.
Yeah.
You still with me? If they're not, then I leave it at that. If they're like, yes, keep going, then I keep going.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people in Port Angeles specifically where I just say that and they're like, lost me. But that's great. Like I'm glad you do online stuff.
Sure.
So he was like, still with you?
Yeah.
Keep going.
Stay more.
So I was explaining, and it is hard to explain what I do. Like I do a lot of random stuff.
Right.
But most like easily explained as like I do website design.
Yeah.
So I said that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I kind of do. I do that stuff too." And then he goes,
He said, "That's what I do."
"That's what I do."
That's
yeah.
what he said.
And I was like, "Oh no way, awesome!"
And then we're like,
And then he goes, "I'm a Squarespace guy."
"But I'm a Squarespace guy."
And I was like, "Excuse me, did you just take those words out of my mouth?" Because that's typically what I do in this.
I was like, "What?" Yeah.
Because I've been working at Squarespace for over 10 years.
Oh yeah.
And exclusively on Squarespace.
Yeah.
And I'm a fanboy. I'm a Squarespace guy. Like I've said that.
He said I'm a Circle member.
Circle member. Yeah, which like I don't necessarily like lead.
Are
with
you
that.
a Circle member?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Circle member.
Yeah. What does that mean? You guys were like lighting up about that. And
So-
I'm like, awesome. That's really cool for you guys.
It's like one step closer to and like being serious about being a Squarespace person.
Okay.
So like you could say I'm a Squarespace guy, and then you say circle, then it's like, oh, you're part of the inner circle. And then there's marketplace, and that's like, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Anyway,
super awesome.
So that was cool. And I was just thinking, so this is what we were talking about upstairs, that we're like, hey, we should probably podcast. I am realizing about myself, I don't need to own stuff or like run things.
Hold up, you got to talk about he mentioned the co-working thing.
Yeah. Okay, I'll finish that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no way, that's crazy. And then we're talking about like, yeah, here in Port Angeles, we want to like start a co-working space.
He says that. And we're like, we literally...
I've like toured every building downtown with the
co-working
concept
space
of co-working. Like,
so we were like laughing, looking at each other, looking at him. He's
thinking,
like, no
he
way.
Doesn't even realize like how, because he's saying it all. Like it's not like I said something. He's like, oh yeah. It's like he thinks I'm just like copying. Like, I want to be like you too. It's like, no, literally, this is my life.
This is my life. This is what I do.
Yeah. So I think he understood.
He
that
totally got it by the end of it. He was like, what? So we exchanged numbers and the whole thing.
There was a point where he was like, yeah, I ran track in high school, and I was like, don't tell me you were a hurdle guy. I said that to him too, and he's like, no, I didn't do hurdles. I was like, okay.
We can't legit copy each other.
Anyway, so it's super cool. So what was weird in that moment was...
you feel totally understood, though. That was cool.
Well, understood. There's an element of... it was weird. It was like I couldn't figure out if I was having deja vu or if I like had a dream or if I don't know. It was weird because I've been thinking about all of this idea of like it's hard to connect with people here because people don't understand. Like I said, the online element and what I was about to say was I don't need to own something, and so I've like thought about even specifically with marketing stuff. I was like, if I can figure out like a crew that runs a tight ship and I can come in and be a part and like help
make it go.
Do something like be a part of that, then I probably would enjoy that a lot more than running my own thing.
Sure. Him and his wife are like,
so I'm not talking about them specifically.
I know. Right.
I'm just like, I've been looking at like, there's a website design company here, a couple of them like design studios. And I've debated reaching out, like, hey, let me bring my leads. Like you guys can help project manage and like, I'll just like design and like, just be a part of it. But like, there's reservations like, they just kind of don't fit right. Or like their approach is, funny or something, small town webs
or design. Outdated, there's that.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Like, and maybe in a nice way, is like small town web design is just a different pace of service. So anyway, it'll be interesting to explore that relationship. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
And it's someone that's like wanting to get into, biking and like kind of like on the same path. So,
that was really cool. Yeah. So, I just
and they traveled full time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, did you?
I missed that. No, because
you told him, and then he's like, "So you guys traveled?" I was like, "Did you guys travel too?" He's like, "Yeah, we did hip camp," and I was like taking meetings out of barns and random stuff, and I was like, "No,
dude, yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that." Yeah, well, because they've lived in Port Angeles for only a year, and we've been here for 2 years too. So it was like, oh wow, this is crazy, like super cool. So, but I just loved like walking away from that event today. Felt like super, and don't hit the table. Felt really energized, like, and I'm just pumped that year, like super energized.
Yeah, I was energized from that. The team aspect of like all the kids around. Yeah,
now that I know that you were like putting that on, I'm like, oh, okay.
Coach Kylan. You can call me Coach Kylan.
Do you think that you could like let the wife of the coach know like what's the heck?
It kind of like happened. I kind of forgot. We're doing a field trip today.
I just was like, so I'm just like, wait, okay, so like, all of us like walking up these steep hills into the woods to watch these things. And I'm just like, what? I just was so like, this is the most random thing ever. But it's not, because you planned it, so it's not random at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Good to know. Good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any more secrets that are coming down the pipe that you'd like to?
Always working on new projects,
Okay.
so I'll let you know
Okay.
after I start it.
After you start it, yeah.
There'll be a website and an Instagram account, and then that's when I let you know.
Oh,
Like,
okay,
that's the
gotcha.
order of
Yeah.
things,
That's accurate. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So I designed a new website.
Did you?
I mean, always.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah. Some people like take notes on like a notepad, and I like the first thing I do is like visually look at how the website comes together. I think that's my
yeah, you design a logo and a website, and I think your first step is the logo.
yeah, like a mock logo.
Yeah.
It's definitely like this is a placeholder
Yeah.
for it's like I have to have it enough to like paint a vision, and then the website has to be enough to paint a vision, and then if it's like trying on clothes and looking in the mirror and like,
Sure. Yeah.
does this fit?
Does this fit?
Is this outfit? Is this a style I could pull off?
Right.
I think that's what I do. That's what that ends up being, that process. So a
Yeah,
lot of
that's
websites, a lot of sticks in the fire, too many light bulbs is how I would explain that. So maybe I was thinking about what would be a fun conversation would be to talk about what I do for work, like, and just kind of like talk through that and like my journey of like what got me here today.
That is a great.
Because a lot of people have no idea what the heck I do for work. And there's some days where I don't know what I do for work, honestly.
Yeah, but I think the journey
Yeah.
of how you got here
Yeah.
is like really.
Back when I was 14 years old, my daddy bought me a camera for my birthday and said, "Here, son."
We're doing the parody version of it, or no?
Oh, yeah, parody to catch up to
Okay,
like relevancy.
gotcha.
Because I don't need to spend 2 hours to go like, my dad encouraged me to,
Sure.
like I'm doing it.
No, I love it.
Like I'll do it. Yeah. So
you're throwing on that southern accent, like, but that's great.
So yeah, I don't know how or why, but my dad, when I was 14, he encouraged me to put all my birthday money together and buy a camera.
What kind of camera was it?
It was a Sony digital camera. That's all I know. And he said, "You should start a photography company." And I was like, "Well, that sounds fun." And this was like the beginning of it all. And it's cool because like I definitely have like, all right, my dad was like, he saw me a little bit and was like,
I was gonna say I have side questions now as a wife though. Like, so your dad saw this creative eye in you.
for sure.
How? Like, what did you do? Like, what did you? Were you a
think
good
he was-
artist? Like, did you take pictures with
I think
something
he
else?
was
And
just
he was like,
trying to find something.
Okay,
It's like, how can
okay.
I motivate my son?
okay.
And I think in his eyes,
Your computer's being really loud.
oh, jeez.
It's overheating.
In
Should
my
we
dad,
use mine,
no,
your
it's
computer?
fine. In my dad's eyes, I think,
not nice.
you done?
Yeah.
Okay. In my dad's eyes, I think I don't know that he would have described that as a success.
Also, hold up. That comment, like, that sounded really rude. You done? But like, that's just the way that you communicate with me. And so
You
I
were
feel-
interrupting me.
I know,
So,
but
like,
it's
if
just
you
like
take a look
you
back
done?
at what's happening, you were interrupting me.
I know. Sorry.
Okay.
This is kind of a
You
podcast.
do not interrupt me. No, it's fine. We can talk about the computers. Yours is not nice enough. Your computer probably runs better than mine now.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Obviously, it's huffing and puffing up here. So. Needs more tape.
Go ahead. Continue.
Anyway, Dad bought me a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Said, "Let's start a photography business. Like, I'll help you. You could do weddings. You can do whatever stuff." I never we designed a logo, and then
Have I seen this? logo?
Frecklehead.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So a logo. I was super freckly as a child, so I was Frecklehead.
You still got
Frecklehead Media Pro.
Frecklehead Pro.
Frecklehead Pro. And Frecklehead Media.
Okay.
I don't know. There's multiple. Bought me a domain. My dad was very.
Wow. Yeah. He's with the times.
Oh, for sure. And so I think what happened, it's a little fuzzy. I think he was like, "All right, now I'm going to help you, book some stuff." And I was like, "Eh." But I think it introduced me to the idea of a logo.
So you
and a
designed
website.
the logo?
No. We designed it together.
Okay.
I remember sitting down with him, and he was like,
So
"See,
he pulled
this is how
open
it
the
comes
app.
together." Yeah.
What is it? Photoshop at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I learned Photoshop.
Okay.
So I always talk about Photoshop was my first love.
So then,
14 years old, I
after
learned
he
Photoshop.
opened the computer and, did that with you,
He taught me
went
Photoshop.
and you did more on your own.
He taught me how to, take pictures, get it on the computer, edit, the basics. We went through the logo process together. We went through the website design process together.
Okay.
And that was seeing that process come
What
together.
was that on? You don't even know.
GoDaddy's web builder or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah, GoDaddy probably wasn't.
No, it definitely was. That was my first website built. I think was GoDaddy's web builder, and it was oof, it was bad. It was 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the seed was planted.
Mm-hmm.
It was not quite. I was not a photographer, which is funny because what did I do today? I carried the camera around all day.
Yeah.
So I end up carrying a camera more than I design websites. I think at this point, pretty close.
Mm. You design a lot of freaking websites, though.
Yeah.
You spend a lot of time doing that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I enjoy holding a camera more.
Yes.
My dad was onto something.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying. Anyway, so then I had nothing super progressive happen throughout high school other than video class. My IT teacher just gave me a MacBook.
You were in yearbook, babe. You were a designer in yearbook.
What that was that was just senior year. I think throughout I just made videos for class projects, and I knew that if I made a video, the level at which the teacher's going to grade, they'll be distracted by the video, so I don't have to put as much work into the actual assignment,
Mm-hmm.
and that worked flawlessly.
I had a couple of those in school.
That worked flawlessly.
And it's funny too because we'd watch these videos that these kids have made, and you'd look at them roll your eyes oh my god, do you guys
I just goof around in the backyard for 2 hours and then my assignment.
And the teacher's
this is so
wow, it's something I could never do, and we're oh dude, you are getting off the hook easy.
Oh yeah.
So you're that guy. Cool.
Yes, definitely.
Love it.
No, I definitely understood that if I just do a video, the threshold in which I would be graded is a lot different. So it was a lot easier to do that.
Sure.
But they were good. I mean,
good
the
videos.
delivery was good. I made, I don't know, probably 10 plus video assignments were edited, scripted, had the
No, yeah, you gotta, right. That's cool, and it gets the kid engaged. If I was a teacher, I'd be yeah, dude, that counts. You thought about this assignment more than 3 seconds,
more than you would have if you didn't.
Make it a camera. Yeah.
So anyway, I was learning creative, I think is what was happening.
Sure.
I applied to film schools, so I got accepted to the New York Film Academy and LA Film School. Did you know that? I did not get accepted to Oregon State University.
Yeah.
But I did get accepted to, and I got accepted to Full Sail. So that was when I got introduced, was back then.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I ended up going to Full Sail later, or taking Full Sail classes later.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I wanted to go to film school, and then I met this girl, and she just distracted me from absolutely everything.
I did what I can.
And
I'm just kidding. That's so not accurate.
Anyway, so
in fact, I tried to tell you to go to school.
No,
you skipped a lot of school because we lived 2 hours away from each other.
I
was like, "Why are you not in your class?" You're like, I'm gonna sleep instead."
Sleep.
Well,
play basketball. I did sports constantly. That's all I did.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
you ended up just working at Kohl's.
I was
just
dabbling,
doing stuff,
but I would dabble. So I'd always have. So in high school,
you designed websites for church, websites for.
I did media stuff. I was always around it.
Yeah.
So I was close to the fire.
Yeah.
I just didn't quite put my stick in the fire yet.
Yeah.
And then when we got back to Vancouver, I put my stick in the fire.
You had 23 jobs.
I just was never
you
happy.
were all over the place.
I was
because you kept not doing media stuff that you probably should have jumped in, but you didn't for so long because you need to make money.
Sure.
And so
yeah.
So when we had our third child, Maverick,
Yeah, I was designing. This is bad, but when I was working for Nautilus, I had a laptop like this, and I was designing websites while like troubleshooting people on the phone.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
What for? Like what? Why? Who? Like what kind of websites?
I was
are you
taking
designing?
clients. I had client work. Like that's when I landed like Thirsty Sasquatch and stuff like that. Was
Oh, I
remember?
thought that.
Remember, I landed. I started doing website work before I quit.
Okay.
When I quit was when I was like, "Can I get?" We had Maverick, and I took paternity
6 weeks
leave
Yeah, 6 weeks.
to figure out if I can replace my income.
Yes. That's
So
right.
I had already. I wasn't cold turkey. I'd already started.
Yeah, that's
because I had.
because I remember you had the
At the end
banner.
of one team,
Uh-huh.
I started webs. That's when I started.
I have a sliver on here. Ow. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry. That's so distracting.
Yeah, it is. It is distracting. Can
Keep
you
talking
push
though.
through it?
Yeah, but I got to get it out.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We'll learn. We'll figure out how to entertain
Okay,
our
I
kids.
got it. So,
Okay.
I got one meal. Go ahead.
When I was done with one team,
Yeah.
that's when I started.
We'll learn. We'll learn. What is
I'm just saying,
that?
if we start, it's like, ow, let's just take a break and look at my
I
finger.
know, but I was
My
like,
pinky
well, hold
winky.
up. Like, I legit had, like, just a little stick poking out of the side of my finger, and I was like, how am I not noticing that until I rub it, like, on the side?
We're still on it.
Anyway, sorry. It's because I touched the stupid table that's not finished. Doesn't matter. So you're in one team. One team. What is one team?
I'm not talking. That's not. I was just confirming to you. I don't need to explain what one team was.
Okay.
The point is, I used paternity leave as a gauge to say if I can get enough work to replace my income,
Yeah.
then I'm not going back. That happened.
Yeah.
And I went door to door. I had this corny little flyer with my face on it. Remember my picture with my purple collar shirt? It was Capichka.
yeah.
And it was when Christmas was coming, and I had like season's greetings on it, and it was like a flyer that. And
That's
I had, remember,
right.
it was like a threefold.
Did you keep it?
500.
Is that somewhere?
Yeah, I've got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a threefold, and it had like 3 different levels. It was like 500, 750, 1,000, and then my face. Like what I did was it was threefold.
Did you
and then
have 1,000 on there?
yeah,
I don't even know
so.
if you were like, ooh, 'cause that's
Yeah,
a lot
I
for
just
us
knew.
back in
I knew that
2001.
no one was ever going to pay 1,000. I knew it was like 500. This, you have good, better, best, basically.
Right.
And that was back when I was Capichka website design. It's like, people are like, what is Capichka? And then I was CapKits. Mm-hmm. It was WebKits by Capichka, which is still like
A
what the heck?
21-year-old's coming up.
Yeah, 22 23 at that point. But
Yeah.
anyway, so started landing work.
Yep.
Um,
So then you, within that 6 months, you replaced your income to where you literally called your job and was like, "Hey,
I'm not coming back.
I'm gonna quit.
have to
Should I come back for my last
for
2 weeks?"
or not?
Or
Yeah.
they're like, "Just don't
Just
come
don't come back. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, replace income is like, that sounds like impressive. I didn't make that much money. Like,
You did not make much money at all,
we
but
made
you
like
definitely
$2,800
made.
a month or something.
It wasn't even that much. Like
Yeah.
it was, and
Yeah.
that was
That was a lot
that's
of money.
2000.
I remember I made like $4,000 in a
15.
month and was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna stuff, Like
Swim
we're gonna
in
swim
money.
butter of gold. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was because our rent at the time was like $850. We were like,
Yeah.
and then we had all our bills and our 3 kids.
I mean,
and
the
all that.
alternative
and I
was
was
making-
not working at all
Yeah, like-
because I had 3 kids under the age of 3. Yeah,
Yeah. The alternative was making like $14 an hour.
right.
Which-
And be miserable. And that was like the huge thing for me. Number one, like that was huge. Like you coming home from your job, talked out because you had been talking on the phone because you worked in a call center.
Yeah.
It was like you came home exhausted and cranky.
Well,
and
I was frustrated.
like, yes.
I was frustrated because I'm a systems person.
Yeah.
And there was like inefficiencies
Yeah.
with the call center.
Yeah.
Like with sales, customer service, and then I started doing their social media. Yeah.
Yeah.
I started running their social media.
Right.
And then I made a pitch to the marketing department to run the social media. And basically I worked with them to develop a position.
Yeah.
Because there was no position, like official position with marketing. It was like a customer service thing.
Right.
It was like, we got to customer, there was no marketing, but it was weird because they're spending all this money on infomercials
Right.
And they're not changing. So I like that. I was perplexed by that. They brought in Hootsuite management, which back in the day, Hootsuite was like an all-in-one social media platform. They brought in like their corporate team to train. It was me and one other person from the marketing team on how to run our social media, basically. And then they created a position, a social media manager. And then they hired some guy out of that had like experience with Twitter, but they didn't know Instagram. Right. And then they created another position.
Regardless,
basically, they didn't hire me.
I just remember,
and I got frustrated. And
and because the stuff that they were putting out too was just like it was.
It's fine. I'm not judging. I'm not judging what they're putting out.
Yeah.
It's part of the journey.
It is. Yeah. Anyways, you kept coming home and I was like, dude, you're just not happy. Like, what the heck, you know? And so that's when we were like, I think I just want to start my own thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do it.
So I got an office. So I finally got that little basement office. Yeah. Which was fun. I remember there was a point when like it felt real. One of the sales reps came and like wanted to start their own thing and they wanted a website. So they came and visited me in my office and they were like walked in and was like, whoa, like this is legit. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm legit. Like, cool. And then
in the basement office,
it's like it's, you know, you go from a cubicle to like working.
Yeah. One of the sales reps from the company that you were working for.
From Nautilus.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Gotcha.
So anyway, so was doing website design door to door. Like I was emailing, I was showing up. You were helping me too.
Yeah.
I'd go make a list and then like sit in front of stores and be like, this is so unproductive. I hate rejection. I hate like going in there. This is dumb. And so I would like make a list, like I'm visiting all these places today. I'd come home and like I didn't quite get all of them. Or you would like, did you actually go into that or did you try hard? And it's like, they're not going to do it anyway. So do you remember that?
Yeah, I know. Sorry. And I was like, dude, I thrive off of rejection. So I was like, sign me up for this.
Yeah. So
yeah. Anyways, it was rough. But
how did I even get momentum out of that?
No,
I didn't pay bills and stuff. So
no, because you landed Thirsty Sasquatch. You landed a couple
of
them.
That was the first one. What are you talking about?
Well, and then
I started doing more stuff.
Ice Cream Renaissance. But then you came.
It got easier and easier.
Yes, and then it got to the point where you were like, I am so lonely in this office. Like I can't keep doing this. Yeah. And that's when you heard that there was a co-working space coming to a city near you.
I was touring all the co-working spaces downtown Portland.
That's right.
We were down there. Yeah, WeWork, and then I don't remember the name of it. Central Office. That was one. I was about to get an office.
That's right.
Central Office.
Right.
And then
Columbia Collective.
I was like, sweet. I don't need to go.
And you were their very first member.
Yep. They were still doing construction.
They were still,
And then, so that's how I got into co-working. It was super cool. Helped them run stuff. And then we ended up starting collab.
They were like, we want you to be a part of this thing. And then, well, that's kind of a pivotal thing because here's the thing about you. It's like every connection every job that you've ever had, literally even the city of Tulsa, working in the storm drains, like you network like a mad dog. Like you're constantly trying to plug into people, figure out like who's in charge and how do you like build rapport and relationship, be seen, you know, and you're really good at seeing like what so-and-so is good at, what so-and-so is good at and connecting them and like making what they're not good at and finding the people that can complement them. That's huge. Like if you can do that, like that is what's gonna. You got it, and you were doing it, and you did it, and that's what happened with Columbia Collective. Because when you were working there, you were like their first member. You were like there all the time, building relationship, going to happy hours.
Seeing what wasn't being represented, what was good, what was bad, what needed help.
Yep, and you were like plug and play constantly to where they ended up asking you, "Can you be our community manager here?" Because you know everyone.
Goes into what I was talking about earlier is I don't need to own stuff. Like I want to support like what other people are doing.
The mission.
Yeah.
You don't even care. You're like, whose mission is that? I don't care. If I love it, I'm gonna support it. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like if I can see a role for me here And I don't need to like put my name on it or like be out front or anything. Yeah. I think the challenge is when like I don't feel like I have the opportunity to impact. So that's what happened at Nautilus or Bowflex was, oh cool, I can see a role and I can fulfill that role. Boom, they hire from outside, and I'm like, I got cut off, and I'm like,
you literally pointed out the fact that this needs a position, like,
right. Yeah,
and that was the whole networking plug and play
and that
thing,
was the
and
frustration.
Then you felt like
I was running reports to the marketing manager. Like I was putting reports together of our traction.
You're the one that even put a flag there saying, "Hey, this needs attention."
Yeah,
somebody,
exactly.
And
so anyway, the point is, I like supporting what other people are doing.
Yeah.
If you have something cool and you want me to come be a part of it, if it's cool, I'll come.
Yeah, but the point of all this is like sharing, like how you got to where you are right now, and I think the biggest thing that I have observed is your ability to network and your ability to figure out, okay, because it has created so many opportunities for you. I mean, come on, you've flown in like private jets to like go like there's so many random things.
I've flown in private jets.
No, I'm saying like you've just had a lot of random weird encounters just because
I was Paperboy.
Because you've tried, you're not afraid to try a bunch of different stuff. You're not afraid to like, I don't know, make those connections, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think like,
where are you going with this?
I don't know. I think it's really cool, and I think anybody that's curious to know like, how do I control and own my life is like, first of all, be a risk taker and like be okay with like network, like,
I think what I learned through that time was when I quit Nautilus and left and did my own thing. It wasn't that my own thing was even necessarily super profitable. We definitely had seasons where I was picking up part-time jobs or we were like stressed out. We moved back in with your parents because we got kicked out of our...
Yep. You worked for Banana Republic. You were doing
the Colombian edible arrangements.
Yes. Delivering fruit dipped chocolate dipped fruit for Valentine's Day. Yeah.
Was that honestly?
Honestly, I think it was just that one time.
It was like 3 days.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like I did training in 3 days, and I was kind of like, well, put that in the list of jobs I've done.
Things that you've done, yeah.
Anyway, so I think again, what I was saying is I learned how to make opportunities.
Yes. Right.
So from nothing, I learned how to see and not necessarily I learned how to see and pursue opportunities. So even like today, this present day, I still do website design to pay the bills. We've got Brecky Breck that contributes a little bit to that. And like as opportunities come up, it's like, oh, like there's a season, let's spend pursuing this and see if this is something that works. I can figure out while pursuing that how to make money, how to like turn that into something. I guess I can see how that can come together. Whereas I think a lot of people like struggle with like, how can I pursue this and make it a real thing? It seems like such a long journey. For me, it's like, oh, we'll figure it out. Like we'll figure it out, like, whatever it takes.
And us figuring it out is like, we haven't been like savings accounts and all this stuff to make room for the thing. You just go out and do it. Yeah. Just
and
take a risk and do it. Yeah.
If it fails, then like we had seasons of like borrowing your dad's like lawn maintenance equipment and like
that is a good story.
Going and visiting, we did that for a couple different times.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, we're going to be short on bills. We're going to get kicked out of our place. We need to like start making some money fast.
Dude. Oh, that's a good story.
Which one?
That literally.
The Eugene one?
No, I mean, or even
because we
started to make
it down to visit my family once.
So let's tell that story. So we are like we're scraping by. We're not going to make rent, and we've already been late a couple times. And I'm like, okay, my dad owns a lawn aerating business, and so he's got a machine.
Which is what this like? So you poke holes in the grass.
You poke holes in the grass to like the compaction of the grass to let air flow and water seep in and make the grass green. Anyway, so
lawn aerating.
So he designs this on a piece of paper. One half of it says $65 entire lawn. The other half says $45 right at the top. Real big numbers, okay? And it says entire lawn. And we literally just did like 65 and 45. And so we print off a bunch of those. And this is like a one-day thing. So we print off a bunch of those. My mom comes over and babysits our kids. And we take my dad's truck and his aerator. Thank you, Dad, for loaning us that. He knew we were desperate. We, fill it up with gas. We head out there into the neighborhood. And I go door to door and start knocking on doors. And I'm like, hey, my husband and I, we're in the area. We're in the area aerating lawns. Today, we are going to do your neighborhood. We'll do your whole yard. I would judge walking up there, like, how much should I charge for this one? A 65 or a 45, depending on the size. Yeah. And I'd be like, we're going to do it for $45 the entire lawn right now. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead. And then I would call him and be like, this guy wants it done. So then he'd drive over, start aerating, and I'd keep going and doing the next one. And then I would just keep landing him like 5 houses down, get another one, and be like, hey, do, 875 next, whatever. Yeah. And we just like did that all day.
Maybe a few days we've got like close to $1,000.
Yeah. So like $1,000. Yeah, I think
we do it for like a couple days.
We do it just to get caught up. Yeah, and then move on. Yeah, so but it was like, and that was like
full times.
Yeah. And then we were gonna go visit your family in Eugene, and we were like, we need to have money to
new market, baby.
So we brought the aerator in the back of our trailer because we had the Honda. We have the Honda Element at the time,
and we towed the trailer with it.
And we towed the trailer. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so I borrowed the machine from my dad there. My dad didn't even make us like pay him for renting it or something. That was just sweet. Nice guy. Yeah. And then we like went there and I was just like, dude, and that's where like, I feel like you have been everything in our relationship. And the only times that I have had time to operate is when you're like, I need help. We're desperate. And I'm like, I got you. Yeah. I got you, babe. Yeah. Let's do this.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that's when I step in. But other than that, yeah, that's what teams are for.
I'm not afraid to ask for help.
That's right, baby. Well, you are, but when I see you're desperate enough,
I'm like, well,
let's do something right now.
Maybe I don't ask for help. It's like, hey, I guess we're gonna go live out a cardboard box. That sounds like fun, right? And you're like, do you need help? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, it's been fun. Like, so to this day, so right now, Brecky Breck sometimes pays for our rent. Like, that's how much money basically it is.
Like,
our rent in our house.
$1,300 is
$13, $15, the most we've ever made. We made
$4,000 one month.
Yeah.
That's been 1 month. That was in May.
If we could do that every month, then it would pay for itself.
No, yeah.
So it does not pay for itself. And then basically I do website design, marketing, and consulting. It's been a lot more like consulting. Like, I enjoy teaching people how to run stuff a lot more than like actually
people enjoy having you teach them too. That's another cool thing.
Well, I think I'm a good like teacher in the digital space because I can not just like apply something generally. I can look at their situation and say like, hey, it would probably be wasted time for you to do this that maybe you initially wanted. Let's focus our time on this. And that ends up being where most of my help is. Like, I know you called me about your website, but let's put only 20% effort into the website, and then let's talk about like
and the great thing about the way that you operate too is like people come to you because it's Squarespace and stuff. People come to you with resources, money to do what they need to do. They just need the direction. So you can take some team that comes to you and says, hey, this is what we think we should focus on. And you're like, no, you should focus on this. And then they can apply their resources where they need to make it happen. And that's like really cool.
The clients that I struggle with are the ones that are more, that just kind of like they're like, we want this website and we don't really want it. We don't really care about your opinion.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, like, just go do it yourself. Like, I don't care. And they're like, do these things. It's just like, I'd rather not.
You want a voice a little bit.
I just want to know that the work I'm doing is like gonna go toward like do something productive. And so if I'm like,
if you can foresee that
if I can see that like this is gonna be pointless, why do you guys want all this stuff? Even if they're paying me, I'm like, you waste your time. Like, and so I think those are the jobs where I get like, I don't know. So like I enjoy, like I do so many free websites. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, I know you do.
I probably designed over 1,000 Squarespace websites. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just personally.
Didn't we already look at didn't you have like a numbers thing on your
No, I don't.
Okay.
There's no way of like
Tracking
actually tracking all
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, it's been multiple accounts, versions of Squarespace.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely over 1,000. Over 1,000 paid, and then that's not including all of the free ones, whether it's like a friend or a nonprofit or someone that like I end up like I'll do consult calls, and then sometimes I'll just like spin that call like, you know what, like we could probably accomplish all of your problems right here right now, and we're already on the call, let's just do it. And they're like, oh, okay. And then it's like, oh. And then I should just charge a lot more for that kind of stuff because that's what I'm good at, but I don't know. Anyway, so so now I'm at a place where it's like, what's next, you know?
Yeah. So. Well, and so now we've got 4 kids, they're all into biking, riding bikes, and that's like super convenient because now we're like, okay, so now we spend a lot of time at the BMX track, at these pump track, at the downhill tracks, and you're like, okay, that's that's an area and a place that you can network, and that's what you've literally been doing. So we don't just go to BMX track and sit on the sidelines and cheer our kids on. We're like looking around constantly as how can we benefit this space, and boom. We have found
how can we
contribute. How can we be an asset to this blessing that this track is to us?
Right. This has impacted us.
Yep.
How can
we give back? Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's So now it's like that's been fun to like find those avenues.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if like I could figure out a way to just pay the bills, and then I could just go around and like
have fun.
Just have fun. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I think that's everybody's dream, yeah.
I think I'm the first one to ever.
Really? Do you think that? Yeah, that's an original thought for sure.
No, what I meant was like, like, just offer my services.
Yeah, so like, Tandem, You want to talk about that at all?
Sure. So I'm trying to figure out what's next.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's into biking.
Everyone's into biking. We're around this biking community, both BMX, mountain biking, skate park, pump track world. And there's, I enjoy creating content. So video and like marketing.
And there's a lot of really cool events going on. Yeah.
So we're like trying to figure out how we can like basically create an entity that would offer those services and do it everything from, the website design and the kind of pre-marketing, the content capture, and then the content strategy after.
The promotional videos, like that's so cool. Content capture. I know. I'm just like, you gotta, you don't sound hyped about it.
Yeah.
It's exciting to think like, okay, here you are, you've been editing YouTube videos, you're really good at it, you've got a creative eye, you can capture something and be a hype team and like help people promote their things, the things that they've been working on and they're passionate about that they don't know how to, show the world. That's where you come in and you can bridge that gap.
And I like that. Yeah. Because it's like, especially events specifically, events end up being something that like there's people with a passion that led to this event happening, and then there's people with passion that are attending this event
or supporting it,
and it ends up being rather than it being just simply a for-profit business trying to promote their services. It's like, oh, this is an experience that we're capturing, and I think that attracts me a little bit more for like putting my time towards, because I can help tell the story. I can help promote and encourage people to have that experience. And
it's something that our kids can be a part of. They're at the events and they're like, it's almost like that summer camp thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So we grew up at summer camp and we were part of that. And that was an experience that led to us like feeling like we had this well-rounded childhood that gave us.
We got to see our parents in leadership. We got to see our families, like servant, hood type things, like helping out, And so, like, since we can't necessarily create that exact culture for our kids, like we can bring them into that through doing this tandem.
Or what
business.
was good from that is available to us.
Yeah. So why is it called tandem?
Yeah. So I've always liked the word tandem. I used to use it in language all the time, or in like, I still use it all the time, like things working together in tandem. And when I was running the co-working space, I wanted to rebrand it to Tandem Co-working, basically working together with other businesses in harmony for the community. It's like, hey, we're here not to be in competition, but like, how can we be an asset and support working in tandem? And so I've always had this like desire to have a business that with that name, because I think it's such an important thing for me.
Yeah.
So when we were talking about this, I was like, yeah, tandem works.
Tandem bikes.
And then tandem bikes is a whole other play on that, because in the biking world, a tandem bike is a 2-person bike. And so I came up with this slogan that's like, we're riding shotgun on a tandem. So shotgun on a tandem. The person who rides shotgun on a tandem is not steering. They're simply just pedaling and helping support pedal. So I feel like that was like appropriate.
Which is the person behind the person driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so it's super cool. So you're like helping promote.
Yeah, you can steer.
You guys put
steer.
on your event, you do your thing, and we're going to support you by helping pedal it. We're going to put it out in the world.
The play on words there is like pedaling is like marketing.
Yeah. So,
yep.
I love it.
On a tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
coming at you.
Yeah. So, and it would be fun. Like, where do I fit in there? Because I don't know. I mean, you could hand me a GoPro and stuff.
No. The reason we thought of this is because we're like looking at what been doing with Brecky Breck. We're like, this is fun. Like we enjoy this experience when we capture content and interact with people. And we're like, how can we take this outside of simply just this like character that you are and promotion of our product and apply that to other areas? So in working through the lens of promoting these events, we're like, you can be a face, you can be an instigator for engagement in this content videos. So thinking about like, following around with a camera, but engaging with people at the event.
Yeah.
And like, so you end up being more of like the on-site live event hype person, and then I'm capturing content for that. We're like
interview writers or players of whatever.
Exactly.
Like, hey.
And then even like helping support, like if they're doing raffles or giveaways or merchandise, like we'll be able to help like promote those while interviewing. So it ends up being kind of a dual position of like we're promoting the details of the event
and the engagement. Yeah, we're promoting the engagement.
Yep. And that's the whole goal. So
it's pretty cool.
Tandem. Yeah. Cool.
You got something on your foot?
All right, that's a blister. I was on my feet a lot today.
Coach Kylan.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Cool.
I had a great day. That was a lot of fun. And it was fun seeing you in action, and it all makes sense now at the end of the day. I'm just saying, like, all those people, I was just like, I am so confused.
And I was filming.
You were filming. Yes.
There
was so much going on. And I'm like, how can I support you? And had I known that you were like, you need to communicate. I didn't know. I just was like, first of all, you weren't even in the mood to go this morning. You were like, I don't really want to go. And I was like,
let's
just go for a little bit.
We got home and I fell asleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Like I laid down.
No. I'm saying this morning before we even left.
I was tired before we left. Like I think this week caught up to me.
Sure.
Like yesterday. And I was just like, oh, I'm tired. I don't get like that kind of tired very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. But then we went, and then it was like, you can't pull Kylan out of a party, And so then we were like, now we're there till the very end,
Well, I was experimenting with the coach hat. I was experimenting with the media hat, and I was experimenting like networking in this environment.
Yeah.
So there was definitely like,
well, that pressure though, like, cause I'm like, I want to be right there with you cause it's so fun. But then when we have 4 kids and like 2 of them are getting exhausted and tired, and I'm like, I don't want to leave yet cause I want to be here with Dad. So like, please don't like ruin this for me. That's how it feels. And then you're like, take care of the kids so I can go out and network and do what I want to do and media and all this. And I'm like,
or go do that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not saying that as in like you're the mom, take care of the kids. As much
No,
as it's like, hey, if we're gonna be here, let's not neglect our kids.
Right,
and
but
not
and
get
it's
this
like,
done.
and it's like I have to be real with myself and be like, I literally don't know. I'm just here to observe you,
Right.
But I just like to be close to you,
Yeah.
you know. And so, and I could tell you were just getting annoyed with me because you're like, go like do something helpful, but don't stand next to me while I'm.
Well, I'm just like like trying to just jump around, like,
Sure.
oh, maybe I'll get this shot stuff, and then it's like I feel like Dwight and Angela from the office, and so, like all of a sudden, like I'm like,
She
oh,
walks in and he's like, Ugh.
no,
Oh,
at
when
the
he's like,
arcade, he's like, oh.
yeah.
Um,
No, I know.
I'm
I'm just trying to find my place, you know? And it's like, I want to be an asset to you. And I also want to, like,
we didn't like talk about what that was.
what the
gonna
day,
be.
I didn't even know what the heck was going to happen.
Like I said,
today.
I was
didn't even know that
experimenting
you
with that.
invited a bunch of people.
Yeah,
Like,
we talked about that.
I know. So I'm just saying, like, my mind was just like, I am lost.
If we go to an event and we're paid to be there, obviously we'll
Yeah.
have a plan.
Yeah.
Like Gold Cup coming up this week.
Yes, we have
We
parents
got a
coming to
babysitter,
town.
we have roles,
Yeah.
we have a media plan for
Yeah.
like what our
Yeah.
schedule's
That's
going to
be a blast.
So we have clear expectations.
Got
so
outfits.
if you're not doing your role, then
Mhm.
it's like, hey, I'm going to be upset because we talked about this.
This is my role, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm there for it. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, cool. Episode 3 conclusion, and I spent my whole looking over here the whole time.
And that's your bad side?
No, I'm just. I
What's
know
your-
how
what
everybody
side
has
do you
like a bad side, you know. Like,
I don't know.
don't you have like a favorite side of your face?
Yeah, maybe
This
we'll
is
switch.
what,
I
this
think
is my favorite side of my face.
I don't know. I'm so symmetrical. That,
I think it's just because my hair. I don't know. It doesn't actually matter. I don't care.
I don't know.
It's been fun.